getting my legs under me, even for someone who's been doing it as long as me. It's always a challenge. I think that's why I love the sport.
Shannon, how surprised were you Brady was so forthcoming about his doubts?
I'm not surprised at all. Welcome to the world of getting old. Skip, and I've said this before, rehabbing is not training. Because rehabbing, you're just trying to get your body back. Trained, you're pushing your body to limits to be able to call on it. And Tommy said, like, I had to rehab and I wasn't able to train, and it gets harder. As you get older, Skip, it gets harder and harder and harder. And Tom is starting to figure that out. Tom, you know, he's had something like, I'm kind of something like human. Really? You've always been human. Don't let winning 7 Super Bowls make people think you're not human, Tom. And as we start to age and we have surgeries, I don't care how minor someone might think they are. I've noticed, Skip, minor surgery only happens on other people. When we get it, it's major. I don't care what it is. You have a tooth pulled. Man, I had a major surgery, man. Man, they like to kill me. But Skip, look, it's just a part of the process. He's 44.
Yep.
I know Tom didn't think he was going to be able to bounce back at 44 having surgery like he did at 24 or 32. So he'd have been in 2007. He'd have been, what, 29, Skip? That's something around that age, 29. So I hope Tom didn't think he was just going to bounce back like he did when he was 29. No, but I understand what he's saying. But I don't do no excuses. We know we don't do that, Skip, here. You know, you and I, when we sit across, we don't do excuses. So I ain't going to let Tom set us up. Now, he told us he's not wearing the sleeve. This is the first time since that injury he's not going to wear a knee brace.
Yep.
He told me Clyde Christensen can't stay off TV and everybody radio. He's great. He doing this, he doing that. So I don't want to hear nothing. Nothing. Okay? Okay. We good then.
So you will never give this man a break.
I gave him a break.
And you never give him an ounce of credit for at least being honest about what he's going through, because I'm going to remind everybody, he said in this interview, it was 6 months today, this interview is on August 24th, that I had knee surgery. And it wasn't microscopic, it was full scale, have to go in and fix, repair the ruptured ligament. It was MCL, medial collateral ligament. So it wasn't cartilage tear, it wasn't cartilage cleanup, it wasn't a scope. It was full scale, I got to reattach the ruptured ligament, okay? He played the whole year last year, according to him and them, the team, with the ruptured ligament. I give him some credit for that because he had a pretty great year and they won the Super Bowl. So he won the Super Bowl and did throw 40 regular season touchdown passes on a ruptured medial collateral ligament. So now he's saying that 6 months before August 24th, he had that surgery. So that would be February 24th.
Correct.
That means that he'd already been in camp for a whole month. So he came back from the full-scale surgery, ligament reconstruction, in 5 months. Think about what we keep talking about with Kawhi Leonard. I know basketball is way more difficult to get through than the playing quarterback.
Playing quarterback in the NFL,
I got that. But think about this. Kawhi had ACL surgery on July 13th. So that would mean if he's on the Brady schedule, that by January 13th, that would be 6 months. Fairly early in the season, he should be starting to come back, right?
No.
Okay, well, why not?
Because.
Okay, and that's 6 months. Tom started to come back and actually practice with the team in 5 months.
What if Tom Brady had to shuffle, had to change direction? So what if Tom Brady, so do you believe if Tom Brady played receiver, played cornerback, he could do that? That's what Tom Brady, that's what
knowing this guy, I don't know.
I know,
okay? There are a couple of guys, when it comes to injury rehab, I wouldn't bet against. Brady.
Not at 44, Skip.
And Adrian Peterson.
Not at 40.
I just wouldn't bet against them.
But Skip, you got to understand, AP was in his 20s when that happened. So now having surgery and having AP's in his 30s, Tom's in his 40s, you don't heal as quickly as you once did. And Tom is finding that out. But I agree with everything he's saying, Skip, about rehab to training. There's nothing like it.
The problem is, when you reach age 44, if you are forced to stop your training, not your rehabbing, you stop doing what you were doing to stay on top of yourself. Because your body will defeat you if you let it. It will couch you. You know what happens? Because your body instinctively says, I want to chill. He said that.
Down.
You just want to chill. Because your body keeps fighting against you. Don't do that to me. that doesn't feel good.
Right.
Just sit down, lay down.
Because, Skip, he can't train because it's his lower body. Everything that Tom needs to do is from waist down. So now I got an injury on my knee, so I can't do what I need to do waist down. It's like, okay, well, then one day, the next day turn into 2 days, and 3 days.
Yeah. Well,
your body's like, I like this.
It's like running against the band. You know, you put the band on and you go on the beach and you run in the sand against resistance.
Right.
Well, there's a long stretch where you cannot risk that.
Right.
Okay.
You got to let that knee heal.
Okay, so he's saying his body fought back until when he went to camp, it's saying, I don't want to do this.
Right.
It's too hot out here. And he's saying he's just now trying to get his sea legs underneath him in Tampa Bay.
Right.
Well, it's hard, so I give him a little bit of credit for this, and he is back on schedule, and I think he's going to have his greatest season ever because he's got more weapons than he ever had thanks to Coach Belichick.
Tom, as long as Tom understands, aging does apply to him. Even though he's still playing the game of football at a very high level, even though he's won Super Bowls, won 7 of those, he's still aging. And eventually his body's going to, I know he's fighting his body as his body is fighting him. And right now he's winning.
Okay. But trust me, if you have knee surgery at 24 and you have to just shut it down, you'll have a hard time coming back.
But it's a lot easier, Skip. I mean, man, I used to have this thing, I would bounce back. I can imagine if I'd had the same surgery that I had my hip 4 weeks ago, if I'd have had that surgery in my 20s, ain't no question in my mind, I'd have been breakdancing in 2 weeks. As opposed to walking assisted. Now, I was walking on my own unassisted in 16 days, and the doctors tell me that's unbelievable because when he saw me, he's like, where's your crutch? Where's your, I don't need it. He's like, you're doing unbelievable. But Skip, when you young, man, that body just bounce back just like that. Woo, yeah, you feel, man. I was like, and people were telling me this thing was easy. It ain't easy to me. But my mindset, having gone through it, Skip, it's a lot easier. You've done rehab, as opposed to a person that's never done rehab. You knows what it takes. There are going to be days you don't feel like it. You're going to be sore the next day to fight through that. And that's what Tom was having to do. But normally he's having to fight through training sessions. He's not even getting to train. He's just rehabbing just to get back to a point where he can train.
That's what he's saying. Yeah, I'm just now getting there. And it's a little scary. It's a little daunting. So he was actually being open-hearted. He was divulging some humanness, some doubt. I've never heard him say something like that.
Well, I've been told you he was human. You just think he's not human.
Well, you think he's planting excuses.
No. Whoa, Skip. All I'm saying, Skip, I said, I concur. There's something about not feeling up to like when you have to rehab. And I've had a couple of off seasons where I had to rehab and wasn't able to train like I wanted to except the last. And I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel as confident as I needed to be because I know I didn't get that groundwork in that I needed. And I'm just like knocking on wood like, okay, just hold up, body. Because remember, Skip, you limp into the season more times than not. You're limping out of it. Because hey, I understand he doesn't play the most physical, demanding position. But it's still a grind. Those licks hurt more as we age.
And there's more pocket movement than people give this credit for. There's a lot of slide stepping. There's a lot of planting this way and that way to avoid, to plant, to throw a little off balance. You got to have some rock solid ligaments underneath.
And saying that, Skip, remember he said he's not going to wear the sleeve, he's not going to wear the brace. I don't know if I don't know if he's still going to maintain that, considering that he hasn't been able to train and get those legs under him like he wanted to. I think this was more tougher than he thought. He's like, man, I always bounce back. I've had surgeries before. You got to realize, Tom, when you had that ACL, you bounced back from that. You were in your 20s, bro. That was a long skip. That's been 15 years ago. A lot of things changed. The body changed drastically in 15 years.
Well, in the end, he's going to be just fine, and you're not going to be fine.
I need him to be, no, I don't need him to be fine. I need him to be great. I need him to be his all-time best self on September 9th.
Oh, okay.
That's all I need. I need him to be his all. I need him to be a combination of Philadelphia stat-wise, come from behind Atlanta-wise, fourth quarter Seattle. If I can get Tom Brady to do that for me on September 9th, it'll be a glorious day.
Well, Thursday night, September the 9th, Tom Brady will throw the biggest party he's ever thrown.
I'm hoping.
Against the easiest opening night or day opponent he has ever faced.
And now, since you put it like that, he throwing a party,
Yep.
I'm going to throw a party too.
Really?
Yep. I'm going to throw a vaccine mask party.